Hey guys, Rogue Orange here. Welcome back to the channel. Today we're looking at another prototype item. This time it is a prototype Game Boy Advance game on a Game Boy development cartridge. The game in question is Rock and Roll Racing, which was distributed by Blizzard Entertainment, and the 2003 version was made by Mass Media. You know, the people with the elephant on the TV you would see in your childhood. Yeah, it was originally a remake of the 1993 game, which released on the Super Nintendo and was made by Interplay, the original Fallout people. But yeah, looking around the cartridge, it is super cool. I love the Mass Media asset tags on it. I think that's really dope. And it looks like it is a first wave Game Boy development cartridge, at least according to the website here that I found. But yeah, most of the cartridges that I've seen online that look like this don't have this little board on front, and the board does come off. I'm gonna be as careful as I can. There we go. Yeah, this is actually a save board, and looking around, it's not too exciting, but from the looks of it and from the sound of it, my guess, without really knowing anything about save boards, is that you were able to use this board to use battery saves. Actually, yeah, I think this was for like being able to use battery saves on your prototypes, because there's the contact points where you would put the battery, yeah. Kind of like how you would do with like Pokemon, they would have like that battery save, and it even says BT1 there. So yeah, this would use battery saves for your prototype. And if you look on the back, there is a copyright Nintendo from 2000, as well as right here is an X1 designation. And if you know anything about Nintendo prototypes, or even if you remember the prototype Joy-Cons video, the X followed by a number is widely used by Nintendo when developing prototype items. And the suspicion is correct. This is a first wave Game Boy Advance development cartridge. And here are the chips. I believe these are RAM chips, if I remember correctly, or maybe they're not. Someone in the comments can like correct me on that one. But yeah, before we explore the software that's on it, let's get the save board back on here. There we go. Perfect. And now that the save board is back on and this cartridge is back in one piece, we can take a look at what's actually on this thing.
Right, looking on this screen, to your left will be the retail version of Rock and Roll Racing, and on the right will be the prototype version of Rock and Roll Racing. And if I didn't label them like I have on screen, you would probably not be able to tell the difference. The splash screens going into the menus are exactly the same. The menu music, as awesome as it is, I can't play it due to the copyright, it's also exactly the same. And then getting into the gameplay, it's also exactly the same, although it is very fun. I do love the graphics, I love the music that I still can't play due to the copyright reasons. If I were to guess what this actually is my guess that it is a press release prototype. And what that is basically is that these magazines and publications would get these press release prototypes, they would play them, they would get screenshots, and you know, they would write their experiences, and then they would publish them as the reviews for these games. And that's basically all this was good for. It's clean, it's polished, it's basically finished, but it's on a prototype cartridge. So without looking at any of the actual hex code, that is my guess of what this is. I would have to get in contact with more knowledgeable people for them to kind of look at them and compare them in the code to see really what's different, because with press release prototypes, it's really more just removing debug features and, you know, like I said, cleaning up, you know, all the placeholder stuff. You know, it's basically a finished video game. And as for the date of when this was, you know, when this prototype was made, I couldn't tell you that either. That, again, that would have to be from someone who is much more knowledgeable than I am. That being said, my overall thoughts is that this is still really cool to me. Even if it is just a press release prototype, it is the only prototype Game Boy game that I own. It is also the only developmental Game Boy cartridge that I own, so I still think it's very cool. I'm very fortunate to own it, and I'm going to cherish it for as long as I can. And that's going to do it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did enjoy, be sure to hit the like button. If you want to see more of these kind of videos, subscribe. Let me know down in the comments what you think about, this video and what you want to see from me in the future. I would appreciate the feedback, and I will likely respond to every single comment that I get. Anyways, this has been Rogue Orange, and I'll catch you next time. Peace.